So let's talk some Bitcoin action. So basically, there's not a whole lot to update you on Bitcoin other than the fact that this resistance level that I talked about as being resistance is still working in play. And so with Bitcoin, right, we have a very clear scenario here where we came up off of this level, right, low, and still slightly a higher low, but you'd consider it almost a double bottom, and we bounced right into this level and we've backed off. Now, notice how Bitcoin sold yesterday with the stock market. And I want to just make this point. I do think, and by the way, I do believe Bitcoin eventually hits 100,000. I think 150, maybe 250, maybe even higher, but years down the line. I do think it becomes the digital gold. I really do believe that. I think the fact that BlackRock's getting involved, that you're having big institutions getting involved, that's only going to add to the validity that it is a digital gold asset. But this is the kicker. It's a maturity game. You know, when you have an asset that literally debuted 14 years ago, that is a minuscule asset compared to what is the stock market or what is gold. I mean, think about how long gold's been around. Tens of thousands of years it's been used. So my point is this. You're still getting the fear to kick in selling. And that's my base case or my worst case scenario where if you're going to see Bitcoin break this level and then come down to 20,000 and break that level and potentially come down to the lows at 15,000 and change and break that level, the way that's only going to happen is if the NASDAQ starts to collapse. If you see 30, 40% downside on the NASDAQ, we even talked about maybe retesting those COVID lows, which would be about a 50+% drop on the NASDAQ. I do think at that point, because this is still influenced as a risk asset, it's still considered risky, you will see this go much, much lower. So keep an eye on that.
China's capital outflows hit $49 billion in August, the highest in nearly 8 years. This could be a boon for Bitcoin. Marcus Thielen, head of research at Matrixport, suggests that as the Chinese economy weakens, Bitcoin might see significant inflows from Chinese investors in the coming months. The weakening Chinese yuan and the robust U.S. economy have pushed the USD/CNY exchange rate to a 17-year high. Chinese companies are struggling with weak growth. Investors might seek opportunities outside China, and despite capital controls, crypto, particularly Bitcoin, could be an attractive option. BitMEX co-founder Arthur Hayes believes that Chinese capital could already be diversifying into assets like gold and paying off U.S. dollar debt. He hopes some of it will find its way into Bitcoin, considering crypto's appeal as a discrete capital movement option. The next crypto bull run more resemble past frenzies, according to Lars Sire Christensen, founder of Concordium. Expectations of immediate, explosive price surges should be tamed. Bitcoin ETFs might not be an instant catalyst for all cryptocurrencies. Christensen believes the crypto market has matured and not all assets will follow Bitcoin's trajectory. Corporate interest in blockchain technology is rising. Christensen predicts a gradual, steady crypto growth phase driven by corporate adoption, not wild price surges. Bitcoin's price is volatile, but options data reveals hints. Put positions are surging as investors acquire them due to market liquidity concerns. Bitcoin whale holdings are decreasing, while retail investors keep buying during dips. Non-whale wallets now make up 41.1% of the total supply. Whale-owned wallets holding between 100 and 100K BTC account for 55.5%, their lowest level since May. Bitcoin's price is under pressure, trading below key levels. Resistance lies around $26,800, with potential support at $26,350. The price's future depends on these levels. The theory that the NSA had a hand in creating Bitcoin resurfaces. It suggests Bitcoin's origins might be linked to NSA researchers. Iris Energy co-founder Daniel Roberts shared a 1996 paper suggesting the NSA explored concepts similar to Bitcoin's technology. Bitcoin advocate Nick Carter supports this theory, calling it the Bitcoin lab leak hypothesis. He believes Bitcoin might have started as an internal NSA project before becoming public. This theory adds intrigue to Bitcoin's mysterious origins. Let's continue our discussion with Gareth Soloway.
I am going to break it down and give you tradable levels that look high reward, low risk, and high probability. So first off, we're going to kick it off with going over here. Take a quick look at what we have. This is the S&P 500 tracking ETF, the SPY, for those of you that don't know. And basically what we have here is pretty major. Now, why is it major? Let's take a quick look here. So essentially what has happened is we had a head and shoulders pattern here. It was untriggered until yesterday. Now, what triggers a head and shoulder pattern? Basically, this is what's called the neckline, all right? So this is the neck, right? It makes sense. And when this breaks, that's when it triggers. It only triggers when this breaks. Now, this is important because I've seen so many people saying, oh, look, it's a head and shoulders, go short when price is up here. That's not the key. The key is not to do that because for all you know, it's going to go like this. All right, it's when it triggers. And the beautiful thing about when it triggers is that you actually get an opportunity to keep your stop very small. How does a head and shoulder pattern fail? Simply closes back above that line and it fails. The beautiful thing about that, and by the way, every trade you go into, it could be a losing trade. There is no trader that is 100%. Always remember that. Every trade you could be in could be a loser. So you need to know your exit strategy. And basically, any close back above that line, you exit for a small loss. Okay, I gave it a shot. No problem at all. Now, in the scheme of things, this pattern to me is a big deal because, again, a head and shoulders pattern, you can actually calculate your target. Now, I'm going to show you how to calculate this. And by the way, folks, this is available of one of about 1 million things in my Winning Trader series. And again, that's at verifiedinvesting.com. 20 hours of everything that's up here, guys. Everything that I've known and I've learned for the last 24 years of technical trading, psychological trading, it is all in there. All right, so what you do is you take the highest point of the head, you drop a plumb line right down to the neckline. That distance, if this head and shoulders plays out to target, that is your distance that it should move. You take this length and you mirror it from here, from the break point, straight down. Now, again, if you do that, you get approximately 410 to 405 on the SPY. Considering we're right here at 431, that's a pretty significant drop to the downside. All right, now, by the way, that doesn't mean it's going to go straight there. I find oftentimes when people are hearing me talk, they think, oh, Gareth says it's going to go right to that level. No. In fact, yesterday, I was nibbling on some long positions. I mean, again, I'm a trader, but I was nibbling on some long positions because things were coming into technical levels. I will show you some of those charts later in just a little bit. But suffice it to say, this is a very negative thing for the S&P 500. Not only do we have a scenario where we have lower highs, right? Lower highs, but now you can absolutely say low and lower low has been made. That is a change of trend. And important to understand because that does play a lot into the metrics of where the market will likely go.
If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more daily updates. Remember, knowledge is power, and we're here to empower you on your financial journey. Until next time, happy investing.